Hello, this is Carlos, and today I'm going to be talking about the replacement of the chain. Let's think we broke a chain, the replacement of the main shaft to the flywheel. Let's say we have a problem with the sprocket or with the main shaft for whatever reason, or the replacement of the top wheel that carries the chain. So the three parts are the main shaft, that is the one that the flywheel goes attached here, and this is the sprocket where the chain engages the flywheel, one part. The second part is the top wheel at the top, which goes here, and the chain goes around. So the chain comes from the handle, goes around here, and will go to the sprocket here inside. And the third part is a new chain. So you can only get one of these three parts from me. You can get the chain, the sprocket with the shaft, or the main wheel, or you can get all three. And I'm going to walk you all three, and if you only need to replace one of them, then you will just do that part. So as you could see here, I put the machine here so you could see it. So the run of the chain, so the chain goes from the handle, goes here around the top wheel, goes here to the bottom, goes to the shaft, from the bottom of the shaft, goes around the shaft to the top, and then goes into this chain carrier over here. So goes to the chain carrier to the top, goes to here to the back, goes around that wheel, goes back to the chain carrier, the smaller wheel, and then finishes on this pin over here, the end of the chain. So it kind of has a complex turnaround or a complex circuit. So to replace the chain, the easiest thing we can do is we're going to fit one chain into the other one. So if for whatever reason the chain has broken, what you want to be doing is normally it will have broken from the middle, so you will have, or from the beginning, so you'll have the handle and the part of the chain broken. So the first thing you will do is you will open that side, and then you will see, you will try to find where the end of the chain is. So sometimes you will find it that is here, so it have gone out of the sprocket. So what I recommend is that you get a string like this one, a very thin one, and then you will attach it to the chain where it has broken. So the handle and the part of the chain broken is away. You will attach it to the part of the chain that is broken, and then you will feed the string around the sprocket. So remember, it first goes from the top of the sprocket and then goes down, and then you will feed the string like that, and then you will come into the top wheel here inside. It goes in the middle of the bungees. You will go around this top wheel, and then you will go to the handle, okay? So when you have that string coming out from here, you already have the chain working with one part is chain and the other one is that. So now we have the whole circuit of the chain working. And when we have that done, if the chain has broken, let's say that you have a defective chain and it has not broken, so you don't need to do that part because the chain is already everywhere and you just need to replace one for the other one. But if one has broken, the first thing you want to do before we start the replacement of the chain is find what is broke and fit that string around the circuit to have again the whole circuit finished. Make sense? So let's think that the chain we have hasn't broken but is not working, is clicking, or one of the nuts is stiff and then we're feeling it all the time and we want to replace the chain, or has broken and then we have used the string that I was explaining to fit all the chain all the way to the handles place, to here to the outside, and we have the string coming out of the front here, so we have all the chain. So let's say that we have the whole chain through the circuit and we want to replace it. The first thing we want to do is we want to release the tension of the bungee. So to release the tension of the bungee, what I have is instead of the strings that are so thin, I have a little thicker ones. So I have two strings, and then they have, I made a knot at the end. So I will take one of the bungees here, I will get it out. So and then I use the string here to feed the bungee into the system here and release tension. So you release tension, I leave that string here, and then now I use the other one. I come here, I get it out, put it here, and I release tension. Now the whole thing is loose. You see the chain is falling down, everything is loose. So the next thing that I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how I'm going to replace that top pulley over here. So we're going to replace these parts first. So if you have access to something like that, is functional because now the chain is loose, so you can come here and attach it here so the handle doesn't move and stays. So we can keep that here. So the first thing we're going to do is we get the replacement part that I sent you. So it has the two lateral wheels and the middle one. If you only got the middle one, you can remove these clips and put these ones that you have here into this system, and then it's pretty simple. So the tool you're going to use to remove these clips is this one over here. So these clips will get you need these tools, and then you release those clips, and then that comes out. Okay, so if you have a problem with one of these lateral wheels and I send you a new one, you will remove that clip, get it out, and then you can get that wheel out and replace it by a new one. Okay, so let's say now we have all this system assembled and ready, and we want to replace it by the existing one. Be sure the clip clips well. So now we want to put this system instead of this one. So pretty simple. What we're going to do is I'm going to come to the two nuts on the side, and remember, you need to have released the tension of the bungees. If not, this is not going to work. You get one screw out, and then you'll get the other one out. I'll leave one here on top of the bar. I'll get the other one out. Okay. And then now I'll push this wheel out. So I'll push it to me. Watch out with the cable of the here. So it all is coming to me. And now what I do is get the bungee out, get the bungee out, get the chain out. Don't lose them. So 1, 2, 3. This out. So if you needed to use now something out of this one to the other one, and you cannot hold it with your hands, you can do it very simple. You can put that thing here, like that, for example, or like a screwdriver or something, and you hold it there, and now you can pass one part from here to here, and this is waiting for you. So now let's say that we have done everything we need, and we want to put the new one here. So it doesn't matter if it's in each side of the other one. So now what I do is I take again all these three with my fingers. You can leave this tool here and then feed first the chain in the middle. If you have the string, because the chain was broken, will be the string. You put bungee from the left in here. Be careful, don't make a knot, a weird knot. It's just coming from the top and goes to the bottom. And then this one here. And now you have that cable over here, go on top of the cable, and then just feed it inside. Hold it with your hands, don't lose the whole system. If you lose it, you'll need to catch it. So you line up now the holes, and I have here hole number 1 on the side. Put the screw. Now the other one. It doesn't matter if the bungee is on the wheel or not. What is important is that it's inside. So here I line up this one, you could see. Okay, so I get it tight now. This is very important that this system gets really tight, because there is a lot of force when we roll on this wheel. So you don't want to lose one of these screws because you'll bend the whole frame. So put the tight and tight, Okay, so you can see the system is in. We put the bungee in the wheel, Now if you want to get a little tension, you can bring the two things here, and you bring the carriage and it's tense. So this system is changed. So the first thing is done. So the next step we're going to do is replace the chain and replace the sprocket. For either one, you need to do the 3 steps I'm going to do. First is we're going to remove the handle, then we're going to remove the flywheel cage, and we're going to get the flywheel out. So quickly, to remove the handle, Allen, here in the middle, in this system, remove that nut out. Okay, and then there is a system inside here. Push it a little here. Okay, so it comes to me, and then okay, so you could see how it works. It closes and it opens. Okay, so when it's open here, that thing comes out, and when I want to put it in here, and then I close it, I slide that. Okay, so now the handle is out and that part, so the chain is free. So I leave that here on the floor. So that's free. So the next step we're going to do is remove the flywheel cage. So there is a nut under. So I'm going to release that nut underneath. It's the only one. Okay. So that nut is out. It's that little one. And then I'm going to turn the cage clockwise. So push it in and that way and out. I'm going to don't lose the nut on top of the cage, and then now I'm going to get an adjustable and release the nut. Okay, and get the flywheel out. Put the nut in the flywheel so you don't lose it. So now we have handle out, flywheel cage out, and flywheel out. So we have access to the sprocket, and then we have access also to the pin that is connected to both sides that connects the end of the chain here. So we have the main shaft and the new chain. So normally when you are going to replace the main shaft, if something has gone wrong on the sprocket, I'm sure the chain is not working properly. So normally if you replace the main shaft, normally all the time when you replace the main shaft, you're going to put a new chain. So what I'm going to do is you might replace the chain and not replace the main shaft, but if you replace the main shaft, you want to replace the chain. So what you're going to do is, before we put the new chain on, we're going to replace the main shaft. Why? Because when we replace the main shaft, we kind of hurt the chain. We're hurting the bad chain, not the good one. So we are going to do that first. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get that shaft out. So what is tricky here is we have this nut here, and then we have the shaft on the other side. Now, the only way we can remove that bolt is holding the shaft on the other side. And the tool I use is that one that is a 17, a bike tool. If you don't have that tool, and the reason it's important, that tool is because it's so thin. Because if you could see, the shaft has this entry that is pretty thin. So you cannot get with a thick tool here to block it. If you don't have that tool, one thing you can do is you, before you release the tension of the bungee, before you do anything on the handle, and before you take the flywheel out, so the thing you're going to do is you don't do anything, you will take the flywheel cage out, you will hold with your hand the flywheel in this side to keep the shaft, and then you will take this nut out. If you have taken the flywheel out and everything, there is no way you can hold that shaft. So I hope it makes sense. If you don't have this tool, the first thing you're going to do is get this nut out. Okay, so now I have the tool. I'll put that tool in the other part of the shaft as you see over there. So I keep it here blocked, and then I come to this side and I remove that bolt out. Okay, so now we're going to get this shaft out. So first thing, we don't want to, like, there is too much chain over here, everything is crowded. So one thing I like to do is with one of the Allens you have, the thin one, is you bring the whole thing up, you feed it through this hole, and then you hold everything at the top here, so it's not the way. Like think you're a surgeon in a human body, and you want to be precise. So now, if you could see here, I could see the shaft there, and the chain around, and all the rest is up. So what I will do is I'll get the chain out of the sprocket to the side. So it's not on the sprocket, it's to the side. I want to put it on the side of here, not on the side of the other thing, because the whole shaft is going to come out that way, pushing it. So if the chain is in the other side of the sprocket, it's going to get stuck and it won't let the whole thing go out, because the sprocket and everything is going to come out in the side of the flywheel. Okay? So to remember, everything is at the top holding, chain is out of the sprocket on this side, this is out. Now we need a hammer. I recommend a hammer that is not metallic, that is, a little, if you have a mallet, is better. And then we're going to push on that. So I recommend at the beginning, I don't know how tight it is, you put that a little here, just a little bit, so we don't hurt the thread. And then you're going to start pushing one of the ways. So now you hold with one hand, you get it out. Now you get there, and now remember the chain is totally free here. And now you use, you use kind of something round, like you want to try to don't hurt that with something, and then you're going to pushing. And now you'll see the sprocket is touching the end now. So now you want to be strong top, and the whole shaft has come out. You can see now there is a hole. The chain is here, free. We're going to take care of the chain later. So now I can clean a little, that area over here that is dirty. You have full access. So, since we have all the shaft out, we can clean that area and get it nice again. And then you can come from here, from this side. And also clean everything. Okay, so now the next step is you get what you got out, you have that one. So normally when we send you that one, we might send you this one with already this part and this thing, but if you only got that, you need to get this part out. So in order to get this part out, what you're going to do is kind of push that part here. So one of the ways you can do it is you find a corner, like you won't use that one, but a corner like that of a metallic table or something, and then first thing, you're going to get that out. We'll need it, just leave it here, and then now, again, we don't want to destroy this one in case we need it. You're going to put the bolt back here, and then you're going to find the edge between this and this, and then you're going to hammer, and then you're going to release. You see that distance here is releasing, and then you'll get it, So the part is out. This is the old shaft, so don't get, I remove the bolt, which I will need. I have that, I have that, so that's the old shaft. Now I clean that part over here that I'm going to reuse. You might already get it, but if you don't, that's what you do. So you get that part, you get the shaft, the new one you have, and then you feed this part over here, and then you feed it past that. It fed well, sometimes it doesn't fit. So this, again, you kind of hammer it until you pass the thread. When you pass the thread, you get the ring again, this tool again, and then you feed it to the thread. Now it's click on the thread, and then that's it. So now we have the new part with the ring that we're going to feed through. So the next step is we're going to fit the new shaft. Remember, we still have the bad chain on. We haven't changed the chain. We remove the new shaft with the new sprocket, and we have put that on. So I recommend you now, so you don't forget, you take the nut and you put it here, because we're going to be now hammering that shaft. Before we hammer from here out, and now we're going to hammer from here in. Okay? So it's overall now, you definitely don't want to hammer into the shaft directly into that, because if you destroy the thread, then you won't be able to close it. So you never want to be destroying the thread. So now we're going to feed the shaft from here into this hole, you see? So the thick part stays on the flywheel side and the sprocket goes in. So, and no knot in this side. So it comes in, but now the key thing is we're going to put the chain through that. So what you want to see on this chain, look at now, is that the bottom one is the one that goes next to here and goes to the wheel. So look at the top wheel. When it goes down, that down stays down, 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 and that's the part that goes like that. Be sure you do it right. So now I know it's right like that, because if you don't put the chain right, you'll need to redo it again. You'll need to take the shaft out and do it again. So take your time to be sure that the chain runs the right circuit. So right now, you see, that top part that is coming on the top of the shaft is going to the chain carrier here. That's right, okay? So a little thing is coming already from here. And now what I want is I'm going to put the chain into the sprocket. Why? Because I'm going to start hammering and there is not enough space to put the chain on the other side of the sprocket next to the flywheel. If I have the chain next to the sprocket in this side and I start hammering, I might get the chain stuck in the hole hammering and it gets stuck. It already has happened to me. So I learned that if you put the chain on the sprocket, the chain doesn't get stuck anywhere. So I have this little thing, the chain is on the sprocket. I get my mallet, I come to the side here. So, and now I start hammering. This is pretty. Okay, it went on. So, not easy. Needs to be firm hammering. It's already coming out here, you see it? So it's not all the way in. So I could see, if you come to this side, you could see that it is still from the edge to that room. So I'm going to keep pushing. Okay, and now it's all the way in. Okay? So you could see, you move it here, moves free. And you could see it also from this side. If you get a flashlight, you could see perfectly how that bearing is touching the walls of that bearing block. Okay, it's all the way in, and it's nice and smoothly running around. Okay, so right now the new shaft is in. We don't need to do anything else. So this part is the bearing block, and that's the part that is there. And when we are getting the shaft in, we're getting it into here. So one thing you could see is now when I was hammering from the flywheel side is that the bearing is coming in and needs to go all the way to this flat part. So I'm hammering when there is full contact of the bearing with that I could see it from this side, then it's nice and tight. So that's why it's forced, but then the whole bearings from those sides get blocked here and then the sprocket is totally aligned. So next step we're going to do is we're going to replace the chain. So now I don't need to hold it here. We already replaced the shaft. I get all the thing up. So now quickly, before we get into replacement of the chain, I want to explain you. I have these three parts here. So over here is that part that holds one bungee in each side. If you ever need to replace it, then that's what it comes off. In this one over here is where the chain turns around before where it connects at the end. So that's that pulley over here. If you need to replace it, then that's what it comes out and it comes in. And then where the chain connects at the end is this one, that is this one, and this is one we're going to remove now. You could see there the chain here, how is connected to that pin, so we're going to get the chain out of there first. We said the one that holds the chain is this one, is the last one. 1, 2, 3 is the third one. Be sure you don't release another one. You need to release the one of the chain because then you need to do it again. So I will hold this one here with a 10, and then we can also the other side too, and then I'll release. I'll get the knot on this side out. So the knot is out. Okay, so I'll leave it on the ground. So now what I do is I use that Allen, put it on the hole of that where the knot was going and push, and then you come to this side over here and you see the pin coming out. So the pin is coming out. So now what my finger, what I'm going to do, I get the spacer out, and then you should get 2 spacers in this side. I get the chain, the other spacer, I'll get it now. I'll get the chain out here, and then this is the other spacers that was on this side. So what I do is I just leave the pin here. You don't need to worry about it. Leave it there. Don't need to put the knot. Just leave it there. Keep the 2 spacers and the knot together for later. And now we see the end of the chain is here. So now is when the fun part comes. You're going to get this end of the chain here, and then you're going to get that thin string that we have. Then you have it here, and then you're going to tighten that string into the end of the chain. Okay, tie it here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is release the chain from here, get it out, and start getting the chain out from here and let it fit the string. So what you're going to see come here is that when it just turns around the chain carrier, it has trouble to go around because this piece needs to be angled. So you help him a little. Okay, you turn, put it back, and keep pushing the chain. Okay, so you need to, if it's out of the wheel, it doesn't go smooth. Okay, it's now out, fitting. So now again, it got stuck somewhere. Oh yeah, here at the bottom is also not going through, so I'll get it out of this wheel. Okay, now it's going through. Keep pushing. The string is following. So now here again it gets stuck. I help it. Okay, it's out. Keep pushing. Now it got stuck on the sprocket. I get it out of the sprocket. Okay, keep pushing. Keep pushing. 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 And now it got stuck here. Oops. Come here at the top, and then move the spacers. So that part goes. Okay. Okay, so the whole chain is out, and we have a string coming from the front and a string here. Attach the string out of the chain. Okay, so all this chain is out. So we don't need it anymore. Now we have the new chain. So the new chain, keep it here, just keep it clean and tight because you don't want to make knots on a chain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it the other way around because I need to feed it from the end. So you see what I'm doing? I'm turning it around. Because the first part that will go into the machine is the other side. If it comes to you like that, then you don't need to do that. But in my case, this chain doesn't come like that. So now I come here, I tie that here. Okay, and now we're going to feed the chain again. So what I did is I'm pushing the seat to the front. I can use that or something that you get the seat stuck. So remember, the frame is stuck with the pin over here and the seat is here. And then I take a cardboard, but you take any kind of part, and then you can take the chain and seat it here on top of the seat like that, well organized. Then I made a mistake here. If you see that string was coming here and I attach it, but it needs to attach to the other side. So I will have seen quickly that's not the right direction to put the chain. I need to feed it from the front, and it makes sense because if I feed it from the front through the end, it runs the whole circuit and it comes here. So what I'm going to do is take the string that comes from the front and attach it to the end, and I'm going to feed the chain from the front. So I attach it again, it's tight here, and then remember, you have that string coming on the other end and you don't want to lose that. Okay, so now I'm going to start feeding the chain. So how I do it is I pull the other string, okay, and then it's kind of a just feeding system. You want to be nice and slow because you don't want to get knots in the chain. So you can even come here all the way, keep going here, and then now we are stuck here as we said before. So if these things are on the side, on the way, the chain now, okay, went through, you see it was stuck here, okay, now it went through, keep feeding, it keeps coming, and now it's going to the chain sprocket. So keep going, it comes here, come here to this side, see it is coming down, and it's going to go around the sprocket. Okay, it went around, it doesn't matter if it's on the sprocket or not, it just went around the shaft, we'll put it on the sprocket later. And now it wants to go around this wheel, but because we know that has trouble to fit in, we want to give it a hand. So we come here, just give it a hand, kind of put it on the sprocket here, okay? And then now we just keep feeding it, go back to this one, keep feeding it, and now it's going to go to the bottom, feeding the chain. Okay, here is again stuck somewhere, so let's see where my chain got stuck. Oh, got out of this wheel, okay? Okay. Okay, out of this wheel again. Okay, now we went again to this little wheel and I need to help her to come in. Okay, it's on. Go back here. Okay, so could see it's coming here, and the whole chain is also fitted, so 2 ends, and it's around everything. So now you can come here to this bottom wheel on the back and fit the chain onto the wheel. Okay, now this chain is on the wheel, and then you can go to the sprocket and fit the chain into the sprocket. Okay, now it's on the sprocket, and you want to see that the chain is on the sprocket here. Now you come here to the front, then you pull those 2 strings. You can release that. See, whole carriage comes here. And then I got this nut, so I'm going to do this. Okay. So you could see the whole chain is run. One exit is here, and the other one is here. And it won't lose because it cannot go through here. So that's good. So now what we're going to do next is we're going to attach this into here, and then we are going to put the handle on, and the chain will be done. So we fed the chain, and one thing I want to remember that is very important is this platform I set up here with the chain, and how I was running the chain slowly in is key. If you start making the chain that gets nuts, you're going to go crazy trying to get the chain straight. So you need to be very slow and feed the chain slowly, because as soon as the chain gets disorganized, it will take you hours to get that chain organized. I'm going to tighten that into the end, so I'll get the string out. Okay, so that's out. So now you want to get again the tool we had before, the Allen, and you want to get it on the hole, and you want to push that to the system out. So now it's coming, so you could see. So what is very important now, you don't make the mistake again that I did make, and you need to do it again, is the chain that is coming here, and these bungees need to be on top. So that needs to be here. So one thing you can do is you can get an Allen here, and you can hold all that here. So if you don't want to forget, so you can put them all at the top. So now you know that all will be on top of that shaft. So now you come the shaft here. The first thing you do is, so you have, now I'll get it out so you could see it, one big spacer. So that's the thing. The thing is out. You get the thing in. You have, like, obviously the nut here. You get the thing in. You get one big spacer. You get it a little out. You feed the chain. Okay, chain is fed. Now you get the big spacer here. You fed it in. And now you get the smaller one. It's the last one. You fed it in, and then you keep going all the way out. Okay. We have attached the chain into the shaft, have put all the spacers. Very important, because we have that, we have kept the chain and all the bungee on top of that shaft, not under. So that's because if not, you'll need to do it again. And now you have a bolt here on each side, and now you can release here because it doesn't matter. And then you're going to tie both sides, one against the other. You can do one and then the other, and then that's it. So now that's tight. The chain is perfectly. So now I'm going to get this front part here. I can again grab it with this thing here. I'm going to put so you see it. Make the big holes here, here. Okay, and then take it back, push it back, and get the nut here. Get the tool again, Allen. Okay, handle is on. You can keep it there because the chain is not tense yet, so we don't want to lose the handle weight around. So here. So now what we're going to do is tense the bungee. So we're going to catch the bungee. We can release that. Catch the bungee and then bring the two extremes to the top. So what you want to be sure is that each one goes in the right side. So this one over here is that one. Okay, so that one, you see that is inside the pulley, yeah? So you get it here, pull it all the way in, and you tie it here. Okay, so now we go to the other one. So remember, the bungee needs to be in this pulley, and in this pulley is key. So now we go to the other side, and then we want to pull the other one up, and we'll check that it's in the pulley. So this one, you see, has got out of the pulley. So the first thing I need to do is try to fit this bungee into the pulley, because if not, it will destroy the pulley. Now it's in the pulley. I do it with my finger. I pull from the top and I run it. Okay, it's in the pulley. Very important, if these bungees get out of these pulleys and you don't check before you close the machine, they will get destroyed. They need to run on the pulley. So now it's in the pulley. At the top also on the pulley. So I'll run it up, tense all the way up. Take it, pull the spacers to the side, and then that's it. So now the bungee is up, so I check again. Top pulley is in, bungee is in pulley, bungee is in pulley. Now I check the chain. I see that the chain here is out of the pulley on the back, so I fit it with my fingers. Okay, this one is in. I go, the sprocket is in. I get the chain carrier in. Okay, so the chain is in. So now I run the chain. It's running nice. Totally running nice. Okay, so remember we have that bolt, so put this bolt here. And same system as before. We have the adjustable and then the bike tool. If you don't have the bike tool, you will put the flywheel on and then you will hold it so you can hold that one. But if we have it, what you do is you hold it here and then you turn here and then you want to turn, and then you're going to stop when you get very light contact. You don't want to force it, so just contact and that's it, and then just that it runs free. Okay, it doesn't need to push against the sprocket, so that's perfect. So it needs to be not even touching, very close. So now that's over. So now remember, we have reviewed that the whole circuit is good, the chain is good, the bungee is good, the sprocket is good. So now we come to this side. We get the flywheel. So remember, the nut from the side that is not the flywheel is different than the flywheel. The nut from the side of the flywheel has this edge here, this cut, and the reason the other one doesn't have it is that when you tighten the flywheel here, there is this thing here, so if you had a long one, it will be touching that thing. So you need that, the nut of the flywheel needs to go back to the flywheel, and the other one on the other side is different. So that's why I say when you take the flywheel out, keep the nut of the flywheel that goes with the flywheel on top of the flywheel, so you don't get confused. So you put the flywheel in, nut, get it in, and again, get the adjustable, hold it with your hand, tighten it, tighten it all the way to contact at the end, don't force it, contact, keep tightening it. When I get contact, I release 25%. So it's 1 line and a half there, and then you should see, you should have a millimeter move only, a little move, very light. Okay, so that's nice running, and then now you can come here and you see that you engage the wheel. Okay, so this flywheel is very dangerous, so wait until it slows down, and if not, you can slow it down, but very careful with that. That's on. Like now, flywheel cage quickly, nut, get the flywheel cage. You need to line up the nuts here. Okay. Okay, it's on. So in and counterclockwise. Get the nut. Get the Allen. If it's on, you'll see that the nut, the hole is open, so you can fit the nut here. Okay. Okay, that's close, so that's good. That's sliding, so to finish it off, you only need to put the cap here, that is that one over here. You put that cap on with the screw on the bottom, and then you will put the side plate on the side, and you finish it off. A little tip for both of them. When you put this one on, be sure both parts, this is pushed to the front, and both parts are inside, because if not, the hole is not going to line up. And then you push it, and then now it's lined up. Okay, be sure it's well here, and then the hole will be lined up. And then on the other one, when you put the other one on the side, you will start with just one screw on the top, on the middle, and then you will put all the screw light, not tight. And then when they are all in, then you start tightening them all in. Don't start tightening them in, because then there will be some screws that won't go in. And then everything is out. I recommend, again, before you close the top and the side, that you review the chain and the bungee, that everything is on the pulleys, on the circuit, because you've been working so hard. You want to be sure that you didn't get any of the parts out of the circuit. That's it.